Hello, everyone. This is Jimmy Colas back again with another logic video, and today we're going to be talking about how to make puppets ride other puppets, or you could consider it how to make puppets carry other puppets. This logic, I'm going to be using it in the sense of, like, how do you make, like, you know, someone ride a beast of burden or whatever. But it could be used to create, you know, if you want a puppet to fireman carry another puppet or something like that, it could be used for that. Just keep that in mind. But the first thing we're going to need is some kind of a mount for the puppet. Way for him to be able to interact with this creature, by the way. L1 and X to open the logic, then we'll stamp out a microchip. We're going to call this tags, even though it's not really tags, but I tend to put these things in the same category. We're also going to put these two things inside a chip. It may not be ultra necessary, but just in case we end up needing that later, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So that I can easily shut them off if need be. We're also going to connect a switch to his procedurals, and if you want to know how to open up this menu, it's just L1 and square. Procedurals are in here. Procedural animations, that is. Now we're going to put down a teleporter set to match target angle, and we'll call it ride mount. And we're going to probably test it in relation to the creature. We're going to stamp out a cube. It's not really necessary to alter most of these things, except for the collidability and the visibility that you will want to alter. And we're also going to reduce the detail a bit using the detail reducer in tools here. We'll put this on so we can see where we are. And we'll have him ride about here. We may change it later if it seems necessary. Ride mount is what we're going to call this tag. And we're going to move it forward. Make sure that to press L1 and square when this menu is open, and turn this thing around so that Z faces forward. I'm going to briefly shut this off. I'm also going to add a pose for our puppet so that he looks a little more natural. It's a bit difficult to make the legs, you know, fit something this wide. But we'll do our best to make it look like he's riding it. And we'll just go ahead and turn this on. We also might want to make him have no procedural animations. And we're going to turn off his collidability. And we'll call this action recorder parameters. Make sure that it's set to keyframe mode and not this action mode. Now we're going to test it running around with him. Now he looks a bit stiff, so we might set it to springy to add that little extra bit of or alternatively, we could just take out a keyframe add a new animation. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Let's do this. We'll use an action recorder set to keyframe mode. Get the poses set in. Press triangle on these heels. Pull them down a bit. Put the feet up just a tad. Let's try that. Alright, now we're going to move the playhead, or whatever it is, just a little bit forward. And we'll move his pelvis down a bit. Rock his head forward. Then we'll do it backward. And move this up a bit. Not sure what's going on with these. Make sure to set it to smoothing. But that's basically what we're going to do. And we're going to take out a movement sensor. Make sure that this is pulled back a bit. We want it to loop perfectly. Have the timeline set to loop. And then we're going to take this and connect it to the power. And take overall velocity and connect it to this calculator. Set the calculator to greater than and put it 0.1. And we'll just set a little keyframe on here, set it to power up. Slow power up 3, and slow power down 0.3. And we'll get to where it roughly matches the creature. Well, the overall velocity doesn't seem to be kicking in. Our movement sensor seems to have failed us. But I do have an alternative fix for this. We'll use a wireless receiver. We could call it riding. That'll work fine, I think. And we can expand it somewhat. Expand the zone size, that is. And then inside of our puppet, we'll just go to whatever controls the movement animation. That being the run. And we'll put a wireless transmitter in here, which will, project riding. Move it up just to make sure it interacts with the puppet's zone. We'll also have to make sure that this thing is on. A little preliminary thing. All you gotta do is put a switch in here and connect it to the transmit to receiver output. This little thing here, signal to receiver, that's it. And that should make this thing work. You could probably get it to where it precisely lines up with the creature's animation, but this will just do for now. I might make it a little more springy, see what happens if we do that. It doesn't seem to really affect it at all, actually. Kind of surprising. He's riding a bit high, too. I think I might pull down the tag just a little bit. But that's how to mount a puppet to another puppet. I think I'll cover a subject later which we should, you know, talk about. This is just how to mount a puppet to another puppet. However, the subject of how to make a rideable beast, or like, you know, a horse or something, like an Ocarina of Time, I think I may cover that on a separate occasion. But for now, this is just how to, like, you know, make a puppet stay where you want him on an animal or anything else. It could also work for carrying another puppet, like if you wanted him to be carried by another humanoid. It just requires that you have the proper pose, essentially. But it's the same principle. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts, leave a comment. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. If you would like to support us financially, consider clicking the join button to become a member and unlock perks. You can also leave a super thanks in the comments, which we would appreciate. That's all for now. Goodbye.